I've been dreaming, 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 I've been dreaming. I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, we're dreaming, we're dreaming, we're dreaming. I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming. Shadows on its coastal horizon, like a wall withstand. Arizona roaring, rising from the scalded sand. The cries of a dead world, calling out in pain. Red skies on the desert, all the blood in a ranger's veins. Static on a distant signal, correlate to wind. Iron in my blistered fingers, leather made my skin. The cries of a dead world, calling out in pain. Red skies on the desert, are the blood in a ranger's veins. Scorpion tails and sideball blues, rockets of doom that spread bad news. Scorpion tails and sideball blues, rockets of doom that spread bad news. Skies on the desert are the blood in a ranger's veins.
Hello and welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to Better Haunts and Habitats. Hello. We've got some more stories tonight. How many will we be able to get through? I don't know. But we're going to get through as many as we can. Last night, we made it through one. And I think most of us made it out alive. Not sure if we lost anybody in chat. That is possible. But tonight, we will be taking another trip into Fright Bites to read another story by them. And of course, if you are interested in knowing more about the story that we are going to be reading, well, There is information in the chat for you. Now I'm going to give it a couple minutes to let some folks come in who might be a little late tonight. I know some of you guys are on the road. I certainly hope all of you are nearly ready for Halloween. Although I apparently am going to have to get rid of a critter that's in the studio with me right now. Excuse me. Cat Smith is being louder than I thought he would be. I'll be right back.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Don't waste your life banging on doors that have been closed. Sometimes the ones you trust the most will let you down. Life doesn't hold back when it's kicking you around. You've lived a little, loved a little, tasted bitter heartache. You got to just forget the ones who hurt you for your own sake.
You know, you ever wonder if evil villains have to deal with that? Whether it's animals or minions or something like that. Some sort of minion or something just wrecks your plan by making too much noise, maybe scratching some cardboard or something like that. For those of you who have not met any of my cats, that was Cat Smith. Yes, he is named after the doctor. He was the doctor that was around when we got him. And the other cat, of course, is Maximum Catitude, Maxie for short. And why, yes, I see you out there asking, does he spend multiple weekends at the local gay club? Yes, I do. Does he like musicals, both quirky and otherwise? Yes, I do. Am I heterosexual? I am. Do I make much of a case for it? Not really. But so, welcome. Welcome again to the stream. Now that we've got some more folks in the chat, we'll go ahead and get ready for the story. Now, I have some very particular music for this story. We, of course, are going to be doing another Fright Bite story tonight. And as you can see on screen, we're scrolling down. The story that we are going to do today, if you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see under the Terrifying Tunes logo, you will see the Midnight Syndicate Carnival Arcane music. And that means that we're going to be doing the carnival story, the Carnival of Terror tonight. So first off, one more time, I want to welcome everyone here into chat, into the show, into our story tonight. And like I said, I was hoping to have my familiar around. But sadly, he was a pain in the butt. Wouldn't leave the cardboard alone. All right. Now, unfortunately, Sandy, you're not going to have audio until you get home, so you may need to check out the VOD tomorrow to hear the whole story. The page seems to be taking its sweet time loading up right now. Let me just see something here. Okay, well, the internet may be running just a touch on the slow side tonight, and it could also be something with that link. So we will try this. Walk. All right, as this is loading up, did not preview this. It is the Carnival of Terror, so I make no guarantees if there are going to be scary clowns or anything like that. So keep in mind that there are spooky graphics and whatnot. So we will find out what's up. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and switch back. Scene right now. Well, the page, oh, as soon as I did that, the page loaded up. It's going to be one of those nights. All right. Now, switch back over. Now, before we begin, I have to have some music going. Some mood music. Look at that. The music's perfect for this. We've got a firefly on screen. We're outside. The music stirring here. And of course, all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. It's by Edgar Allan Poe. Shall we, chat, enter into the Fright Bites Carnival of Terror? It's up to you, chat. Should we go in? Or should we stay where it's safe and warm and cozy? Or should we adventure in? It would be a shame we're here. Ah, yes, you guys do want to go in. I thought as much. Then we shall. I believe this character should have a little bit of effect on his voice. Oh, Richard says no. Story over. Well, he can tune out. Few are brave enough to journey too deep into the hollows of Salem's Marsh. Its haunted past is warning enough to those that have heard the tales. Strange things happen in this swampy land that can't be explained. There is a legend of gathering of souls, lost souls. Together they celebrate the spirit realm with the Carnival of Terror. Is the legend true? Enter if you dare. Now there is a myth about a haunted carnival in Salem's Marsh. Troubled spirits gather during Halloween and celebrate their dark spirit world. You're invited to journey into their realm and find out more about how the carnival began and who the participants are. This is not your typical carnival. This is a carnival of terror. Your ticket lets you in, but will you be able to exit? It's your choice to find out. Enter or flee now. Farewell, foolish mortal. Oh, we've already made the choice. Oh, we going in. The directions a stranger in the last town gave you must have been wrong. Well, you are lost on this unknown, desolate country road. It seems you're going in circles as everything looks the same mile after lonely mile. A sense of unease settles on you. Are you really alone? There's a sign ahead. Maybe it will lead you out of here. Hope fades when it turns out to be a dead end. As you begin to turn the car around, a gust of wind comes up. You hear a slow creaking, followed by a loud snap and a thunderous thump. Then all is quiet. The wind has blown down a giant old tree across the road. There is no way out for you now. In a panic, you reach for your cell phone. It says you are out of the service area. Looks like you're on your own to find a way out. Well, there is no going back. The only thing to do is search ahead to find a path or another road. You look at the directions the stranger in town drew for you. Unfolding the paper, you will find it's a flyer for a carnival. It's for one night only. Tonight. Walking past the dead-end sign, some pieces of paper blow across your shoes. It's the carnival flyers. It's odd that they would be way out here. Perhaps the carnival is close by. You walk onward into the foggy woods. Ah, what luck! Just follow the arrow and find the carnival. You'll be able to get help there. Nailed to the sign is an admission ticket. You might as well take it. Following the arrow, you find a well-worn path through the woods. An unease settles upon you, and the eerie feeling of not being alone overwhelms you. Something is following you. Too fearful to look back, you run forward on the path. Out of the fog, you see a faint red glow. It must be the carnival. We've been expecting you. Come in. Welcome. Step right up and begin the ride through the Tunnel of Terror. Just a little equipment glitch. Don't be alarmed. It's all perfectly safe. My pet Ratbutt isn't harmed. Come, Ratbutt. Get down from the chair and let our visitors on the ride. Let me strap you in. Welcome to the Tunnel of Terror. At the end of the ride, you must present your exit ticket. Oh, I forgot. Oh, wait, no, this is the other voice. Welcome to the Tunnel of Terror. At the end of the ride, you must present your exit ticket. Oh, I forgot to mention that, didn't I? I'm so forgetful these days. If you get lucky, perhaps you'll find one along the way. If you don't, we will feast on your soul. Lost souls roam this dark place. Some may help you. Others are wicked and will prevent you from leaving. Oh, misery loves company. Remember, without the exit ticket, you cannot leave. Ever. Enjoy my Tunnel of Terror. We hope you die of fright. Happy hauntings! It looks like the first attraction in the Tunnel of Terror is the fortune teller, the amazing Madame Zoltan. The fortune teller holds the secret of the carnival, and she may know your fate. Like the many other souls before you, she will assign you a task. She will communicate only with a note. It will be dropping out of the slot any moment now. Do what she asks, and you may discover the exit ticket. Time and space, my third eye travels, seeing all, knowing all. Still I am helpless to alter events. Warnings and guidance I can only dispense. This crystal ball you see is my prison, a demon in child's form. One by one she has captured the soul of those lured here. Our souls are held captive inside these crystal orbs. Seek out where she has hidden the soul orbs. They will not be easy to find. She has hidden them inside the tunnel walls in 2 secret hiding places. Take my soul orb with you so I can help you find the 2 locations. My orb will glow when you find a spot you need to search. Remember, there are 2 locations. All are hidden. Stay away from the girl. She is evil. I cannot predict your future at this time. It is hazy. Please try again later. You have reached another Tunnel of Terror attraction. The Haunted Tunnel Tombs. Behind these crumbling walls you will find the lost souls. Each of them have a unique tale of woe to share with you. You may find them so delightful that perhaps you'll decide to stay. Behind these crumbling walls, the captive souls are trapped, doomed to dwell in these dark tunnels. They are lost souls. They await the one that can find the soul orbs and set them free. You will need to visit these spirits to find out more about this carnival of terror. They might help guide you to the hidden soul orbs, or they may mislead you and send you into harm's way. Remember, the soul orbs are hidden in 2 different locations buried within the tunnel walls. Beware of the evil girl. She roams the tunnels, tormenting those she finds lost along the way. I think we're going to visit Morbid Mort first. Once upon a time, Morbid Mort the Clown was the grandest clown entertainer of all, at least in his own deluded mind. He was never cute or funny. In fact, Mort was just plain mean. Instead of making children laugh, he would cause them to cry. He made the big mistake of yanking the wrong little girl's pigtails. This was not an ordinary child. This little child was a demoned child. She conjured up a demon to enter his dreams and drive him slowly mad with living nightmares. To make them stop, Mort brokered a deal with the demon. Stop the nightmares in exchange for Mort's soul. Mort found himself in the dark, cold void, a place where nightmares begin. As the first victim of the child demon, Mort's nightmare created the Carnival of Terror. With each added victim, the carnival became darker and more twisted. This dark netherworld exists as a black hole. None have escaped it yet. Below are suggestions from Mort the Clown of places to go or return to. Watch your step. Okay, guys. I'm putting it to you, chat. Should we go back to the Lost Souls? Or should we follow Morbid Mort? Kind of a tough call. We could go back and visit some of the other Lost Souls. Or follow Morbid Mort. Looks like the vote is clowns. Alright, we'll follow Morbid Mort. Morbid Mort waves at you to follow him. He turns and quickly makes his way into the dark tunnels as you hurry to keep up with him. With the many twists and turns of the tunnel maze, you lose sight of him. You strain your ears for the sound of his footsteps and hear nothing but the eerie tunnel wind. It's too late to turn back and return to where you started. You realize this is a labyrinth. There is nothing left to do but continue forward. Your only source of light is an oil lantern that is very low on fuel. Out of the darkness, Morbid Mort appears and once again beckons you to follow him.
After you,
he says as you take the lead.
turn left here and you'll find what you need.
You turn to thank him and realize he's vanished. On the ground is a trap door, and next to it is a door with a condemned and keep out warning sign on it. What perfect places to hide the soul of orbs. So what should we do? Should we open the trap door? Or do we open the door that says, keep out? Leave it to you, chat. You guys are guiding our adventure tonight. Two choices. Trapdoor, keep out. Matricula says keep out. What about you, Carol? Should we keep out? Should we go to the keep out? Definitely. All right. Then we shall. Oh, hello. I seldom get visitors in the supply room. This is like my tomb away from home. I get cable TV here. You have decided to investigate the door with the condemned sign across it. The door creaks open and it appears to be a supply room for the carnival. You're startled and just a bit frightened to find the spooky webmistress watching an old horror movie on the television and writing in a notebook. The awkward conversation turns to what she's writing down. Well, it's her autobiography. It's been a work in progress for a few hundred years due to the difficulty of trying to remember things from so far back. While talking to you, it appears she's fallen asleep. Or she's dead. With her, it's so hard to tell. Peering at her writings, it seems she's gotten no further than, "It was a dark and stormy night." Nothing more is of interest here. No soul orbs found. Time to move along. So shall we begin exploring the trapdoor area? Or return to the lost souls? And yes, he did say tomb away from home. Or she, rather. Alright, so going through the trap door. Alright, and feel free to refresh your chat if you're your window if you need to make sure everything is synced up, right?
Farewell, foolish mortal.
With effort, you lift the heavy trap door. Shining the lantern over it, it reveals little except for the inky blackness and a rickety ladder that goes down very, very deep. Step by step by step, deeper and deeper you go. The walls are narrow and coated with slime. Lower and lower you go. It seems you have reached the bottom finally. This cavern-like room appears to be empty. Just a few old crates and nothing more. But wait, there's a dark shape in the corner. Your lantern flickers, indicating the fuel is almost gone. Just before the light goes out, you reach the corner only to be horrified to find that instead of finding soul orbs, you have found a deadly serpent. Above you in the distance, you hear the mad laugh of the clown and the solid bang of the trapdoor being slammed shut. Then darkness. It's the end of the line for you. Farewell, foolish mortal. Now I think we can rush and quickly get out and open that door that says keep out. I think we're going to do that. I think that's what you guys want. And I think we're going to go back to the Lost Souls this time. All right. Ooh, it looks like we have Dreary Dora the Doll this time. Never has one been so dreary to be around Dora made one weary. The only thing she cared for was the one who looked back at her through the mirror. What a doll, she would think to herself. She had no time for others, and she would only focus on her reflection. Years and then decades passed. Life and time moved on, but not for Dora. Her mind could not grasp the passage of time. All she saw in her mirrors was her youthful self. Sadly, only Dora saw herself this way. The world saw an old woman so overly painted and made up that it made her grotesque. Her fake smile only revealed missing or rotted teeth. Still, every time Dora looked at herself in a mirror, she only thought, "What a doll!" One day, a girl told Dora to look into a special mirror. Dora would always take the opportunity to look at herself, but she never could have prepared for what this mirror reflected back. It broke her soul into 1,000 pieces. She made a deal with the demon for her soul. Now when Dora looks into the mirrors, she can once again say, "What a doll." And this time, she really is one. So shall we follow Dreary Dora? I think we shall. Dreary Dora gives you a wicked smile, showing her rotting teeth, and gestures to follow her. She glides silently over the rocky tunnel ground at a brisk pace and soon disappears. As you reach the location you last observed her, you see the tunnel branches out in 2 directions. So, chat, do we go right? Or do we go left? Right or left? Whenever I play a game, I usually go for the right and work my way around and then go to the left once all of the right options have been chosen. But this one, I don't know. Leaving it up for you guys. Going right? Alright, we've got 1 vote for right. You have decided to take the path that goes to the right. The eerie sound of distant winds blowing through the maze like tunnels, and the flickering torchlights are a waking nightmare. The tunnel abruptly ends at an old wooden door set into the crumbling tunnel walls. Scattered around lay sad-looking baby dolls, along with other unnerving things. Could the soul orbs be inside this door? With effort, you push the creaking door open. In the dim flickering light, you see it's a dusty room filled with miscellaneous odds and ends. The far wall has been broken through, revealing yet another room. Shining a light, you find this room is stuffed with nothing but dolls. This is Dreary Dora's doll collection. There will be no soul orbs to find here. So we'll now take the left tunnel. You veer left and head down tunnel, the tunnel torches flickering, turning the rock walls into menacing shapes and faces. Straining your eyes, you see a form some distance ahead and hear raspy breathing. It must be Dreary Dora. Quickening your pace, you make sure to be certain which direction she goes at the next juncture of tunnel. The torchlights dim as you run head-on to a girl. A horrifying, walking dead creature. Decaying lips pull back to show razor-sharp dagger-like teeth. A rotting stench fills the air. Her dead, drooping eyes look through you as her talon-like fingernails knife across your face, and her teeth sink into your flesh. You were warned to stay away from the evil girl. Farewell, foolish mortal. As we go back to the lost souls, we've encountered death in 2 different places. Alright, we're going to continue on to meet with Morpheus the Mutant. Morpheus, the god of dreams. That description is lost on this soul. He is a version of a strong man of the carnival. Though Morpheus is strong of body, he's weak of mind. He was born in this dark realm. Morpheus has no mother or father. He was created by nightmare visions. This is why he is so hideously twisted and deformed. The girl uses him to control and frighten the others, to keep all in line and under her control. He is without a doubt the most tormented of all the souls trapped here. Unlike the others, he has never seen the light of day or felt the warm sun and cool winds on his body. He spends his time clawing at the tunnel walls, catching and eating the rats that overrun this place. The question of whether or not Morpheus ever had a soul to surrender is a mystery. Being born from darkness, does he even have a hidden soul orb? I think we need to follow Morpheus the Mutant. Morpheus the Mutant slowly shuffles off down the corridor. He doesn't look back. With each of his thunderous steps, the ground shakes, and the old tunnel walls shake off dust and loose rubble. His arms swing like wrecking balls, and his knuckles drag along the ground. Through the maze of tunnel passageways, he leads you. The tunnels begin a downward incline and sharply increases. Deeper and deeper you travel downwards until you reach a massive domed watery cavern. The shallow waters sparkle and glow, but the deepest parts of the cavern bay are black as night and miles deep. Morpheus the Mutant stops and simply points his finger in a direction for you to follow. You can either wade across what appears to be a shallow crossing of clear, sparkling water, or cross a much deeper and darker pool of water, using a rickety old boat. So what shall we do, chat? Appears to be shallow. Take the boat. I think that's a good idea, Sandy. So we shall take the old boat. You push the old boat away from the pier. Using the pulley system, you propel yourself across the deep, dark water by pulling the rope. Every so often you see a boiling up of the water around you, and wonder what nightmare creatures might live under the water. Reaching the shore safely and looking back to where you come from, you see Morpheus still in the same pointing position. You do your best to follow his direction. The landscape here is mostly rocks and small scrub brush. All you can do is thoroughly look in the direction Morpheus is pointing at. You begin moving a large pile of rocks, and while doing that, the fortune teller's orb begins to glow, meaning the soul orbs are close. You find an old chest, a treasure chest. Quickly opening the lid, you discover a large collection of soul orbs. Hundreds of them. You quickly collect them all and put them in your bag. Remember, there are 2 stashes of orbs. This is but one of them. So, chat, we already have 1 stash of the soul orbs. Should we go back and cross the water on foot? Or should we just go back to the lost souls? I leave the choice to you. I feel that we should go back. That's probably the safest choice. Oh, we have a cross on foot. We have 2 votes. Well, how should we decide it? I tell you what. Each of you pick a number between 1 and 3. Type it in chat. Pick a number between 1 and 3. Oh, go back. Oh, so we both want to go. Okay, you both want to go back and cross the water on foot. Got you. You have chosen to take the easiest route, which is to wade across shallow water. Upon reaching the water's edge, you observe that this underwater river is wider than anticipated. By the time you reach the center, the water is waist level and the current slows your progress. Trudging ahead, you feel a stinging pain on your toe. You must have stubbed it on the rocky river bottom. Now you feel pain in your other foot. You are being bitten. Much worse than that. You are being eaten. Holding up your hand, you're horrified to see missing fingers. You have disturbed a school of flesh-eating fish. They are fairly quick to devour you, although you wish it would have been much quicker. Farewell, foolish mortal. I think we need to go back to the Lost Souls. You guys were very risky. We already had 1 set, and you guys got greedy. Okay. Next, we're going to check out Rotgut the Reaper. Before Rotgut the Reaper got himself trapped in the Tunnel of Terror, he was a traveling potion salesman. He would follow the carnivals with his buggy and set up his shop nearby. This way, he could promote his potions and pluck away the coins of the gullible before they could spend all their money inside the real carnival. The pretty bottles with colorful liquids inside had fancy labels stating cures for every ailment or disease from A to Z. And of course, they were all guaranteed to work or your money back. As he went county to county, he left behind a great number of customers who were forever sickened and in many cases suffering excruciating deaths from his bottled poisons. The poisons ate away at internal organs like acid.
One hot summer day, a girl offered the potions dealer a cool drink of spring water. Being thirsty, he poured it down his throat. Soon after, a searing pain began in his throat and in his guts. Nothing would stop the fiery pain. His skin began to blister and peel and then just fall away. Behold, Rotgut the living skeleton, a perfect addition for the Carnival of Terror.
I think we should follow Rotgut the Reaper. Rotgut the Reaper crooks his skeleton finger and turns away from you. His frayed robes drag on the ground, his sickle making a distinct crunching noise with each step. After just a few turns into the tunnel, Rotgut stops and points his sickle at 2 windows. Some of the window panes are shattered. The rest of the window glass is blurred by many years of dust and moisture. Perhaps the soul orbs are in one of these 2 rooms. You'll have to open the windows to explore the rooms. So should we open the left window or the right window? The right? We need a tiebreaker vote. We've got 1 vote for right and 1 vote for left. Carol, you get to break the vote. We're going to try the right one first. You enter this room through the window on the right. This was an office at one time, and the only furniture is an old desk and a chair. On the wall are framed images of nightmarish creatures. On a small table rests a picture of a young girl. A sudden sense of dread comes over you, and you look away from the portrait. It feels evil. The entire room feels wrong. Other than the strange office decor, there is nothing else of interest. It doesn't appear that any soul orbs have been hidden here. A sudden crashing of the window behind you sends you quickly to your feet. In an instant, you are grabbed upwards into the air and tossed against the wall. In the flickering light, you come face to face with your attacker. Pressing its face into yours, you smell its stinking breath and feel its saliva dripping. You will be the meal for this hungry werewolf. Farewell, foolish mortal. Well, it seems like we're going to have to go through the left window now. You have picked the window on the left. The window doesn't easily open, but with effort you're able to lift it and enter the room with the green glow. As your lantern lights the room, things skitter across the floor. It's cockroaches. You hear the drone of machinery and a bubbling gurgle. You follow the eerie green glow and discover a large hole in the wall. Inside a cavern-like room is a vat of rather gross green goo. There are bodies preserved in the green vats. For what purpose you do not want to know. Scattered on the floor are vials of the goo, all different kinds of labels for various ailments. This must be where Rotgut made his potions. Searching the room reveals no hidden soul orbs, but several beautiful bottles catch your eye. The fluid inside sparkles and changes colors. You uncork the bottles and the most tantalizing aromas rises from each of them. It makes your mouth water. You're finding it hard to resist, aren't you? Drink the elixir if you must. Now, of course, if we wish to experience the elixir effect, we can. But some side effects may occur, but they won't last long. Usually. So shall we leave or shall we try the elixir? Find out what effects it will have on us. Drink it is the choice you are making. Of course it is. I've drank with you, Matricula. Your eyes blur, your blood boils, you double over with severe stomach spasms as you begin to drool and dry heave uncomfortably. Insane laughter fills your ears and you realize it is coming from you. Please enjoy your moment of complete insanity. We hope you've enjoyed your Carnival of Terror refreshment. Side effects are usually temporary. Permanent nightmares and paranoia have been reported. I think we need to go back to the Lost Souls. We have one final place to find those last orbs. Bonaparte the Ghoul. Bonaparte, really? I made a mistake. I read it wrong. I was trying to be fancy. That's what you get for trying to be fancy. Look, just get... Come on, man. Really? Really? Get on with the story. Okay. Jesus. Bonaparte worked at a funeral parlor. He presented himself as a perfect employee, although many thought he was quite odd and even a little creepy. The owner of the funeral parlor was very old, and he began leaving the day-to-day business of handling the deceased to Bonaparte. What the old man didn't know was the dark dealings going on behind his back with body merchants buying pieces of the dead. Bonaparte was clever in hiding missing parts during funerals, viewings, and wakes. No one ever suspected. One night while Bonaparte was mutilating a recently deceased, he saw a dark form in the corner of the embalming room. The dark shape turned into a strange young girl. She threatened to reveal his terrible acts unless he gave up his soul. Being a coward, Bonaparte agreed. But he didn't know until he was sent to this realm of terror what further punishment would be issued to him. I think you'll agree it was a fitting sentence. For eternity, Bonaparte would be forced to eat the bones of the dead. No food, no water, just dry, brittle bones. Thirst and hunger forever. Of course, we must follow Bonaparte the Ghoul, Maybe he'll take us to the Bony Party. Bonaparte moves quickly, scrambling around like a monkey on all fours. He must run to keep up with him through the tunnels. After a long and winding journey, Bonaparte slows his pace and points to a brick wall. In this wall is a very small wooden door that resembles a trap door. It's big enough for you to crawl through. Next to the trapdoor is a broken, grimy window. It will open if you push hard enough. Decide quickly. A demented carnival clown has broken through the crumbling walls. Matricula, I know your vote is going to be for the trapdoor, so I think we're going to do that one first, because we got to go quick. Over there hung a shadow of fear, a sense of mystery the spirit daunted, and said as plain as a whisper in the ear, "This place is haunted." Entering through the trapdoor, you find yourself in a room that appears to be a storage cell. There is a bed, and the rest of the room is filled with crates and boxes of various sizes. A skeletal arm dangles from the moldy ceiling. Could the soul orbs be hidden here? You begin looking into the boxes when you're interrupted by the sound of the trapdoor being opened. Not knowing who or what it could be, you climb quickly into one of the crates and close the lid, just in time. There's a small crack in the crate that allows you to look out through without being seen. This creature is the evil girl you have been warned of. If she finds you, this carnival of terror will be your home. She looks around the room, peering under the bed and into nearly open boxes, her dark shadow reflecting on the walls. Coming toward your hiding place, she tries to remove the wooden top, but you firmly grasp it, making it impossible for her to open. She walks away, thinking the box was simply nailed shut. Satisfied no one is hiding, she crawls out of the room. That was a close call. And you stay hidden for a while, making sure she doesn't come back. Eventually, you continue your search for the soul orbs. With only a few boxes and crates left to open, the fortune teller's orb begins glowing, and you know the precious soul orbs are here. You have found the second stash of soul orbs. You quickly gather them up into your bag. Real talk, guys, do we want to find out how we would die if we had gone through the window? I think you do. All right, we're going to go through the window. You have decided to investigate the room and open the window to climb in. To your horror, you find it's a room that would be found in funeral homes. It's an embalming room. Unlike the other locations, this room appears to be used regularly. Sitting in a darkened corner, an annoyed, spooky web mistress is muttering to herself. All these kids are screaming and running around the tunnels, and one of them pulled on the plug on my embalming machine. Stop playing with your head, Jeeves, and plug me back in. You know how I get if I don't get my weekly embalming. It appears the spooky web mistress's angry rant has either tuckered her out or maybe killed her. It's so hard to tell with her. Her butler Jeeves turns the embalming machine back on and begins a game of charades by himself. There is nothing of interest here, and you continue your quest. All right, we've got our 2 soul orbs. It's time to hit that trap door. Despite being faced with many horrors, you have been triumphant in your quest for the 2 hidden treasures of soul orbs.
No other mortal has ever survived this soul orb treasure hunt. You now carry the fate of hundreds of souls and must find a way to exit this tunnel of terror. If you remember, at the beginning of the tunnel ride, you were warned that in order to exit, a ticket was required to do so. The tunnels in this maze are many, and it could take an eternity to find the ticket. Suddenly you feel a vibration, and soon the ground moves underneath your feet. A rumbling sound begins, very softly at first, but steadily growing louder. The tunnel walls begin shaking, and the rumbling sound turns into a crashing roar as dust fills the air, blinding you. The moving ground below you gives way, and you are falling. The dark turns to an ever brighter reddish glow, and your body slams to a stop. The surface you land on is almost rubbery, and you are unhurt. Just as quickly as it began, the rumbling and shaking stops. The tunnels have caved in around you. There is no going back to the tomb of lost souls. Picking up your lantern, you can only go forward and hope to find more than a dead end. You no longer have your jester guide. Everything is different here. The ground is cracked with red veins, and waterfalls of lava turn into slow, moving rivers. It's time to go. You must find the ticket and a way out of this nightmarish reality. Carefully jumping over lava flows and rocks, you find yourself on a stone path. After a short walk, the path ends at 3 doors. Click on a door to enter the unknown. We did not die there. That is true. But we have 3 doors. We're going to go left, center, right. 1, 2, 3. First person in chat to drop a number, that's the door we are going to choose. The right one, number 3. Wow, none of you can follow instructions. Okay. Then we shall choose the right one. The old door creaks open, and you find yourself facing the fortune teller's booth once again. As you look around the corner of this room, you see a brightly lighted sign with the welcome words, "Exit" on it. With your bag full of collected soul orbs, you quickly push the button on the fortune teller's window, hoping you'll be granted an exit out of this tunnel of terror. Soon a piece of paper falls out of the slot. Maybe this is your ticket. As you pick up the paper from the slot, you hear the terrifying screech of a banshee. She's very near. Your heart is full of fear, and you know it's the evil girl coming for you. As you pick up the paper from the slot, you hear the terrifying screech of the banshee again. Running to the exit door, you are met with dismay that iron bars prevent any passage out. Without a moment to spare, you take the paper and run behind the fortune teller's booth and crawl inside. The future is hazy. My third eye cannot fully penetrate the veil. All around you is chaos. It swirls like red mist. Spirits and orbs all yearn to be free, but it all begins and ends with you finding the key. Fear is your enemy now, and your most dangerous task is at hand, for the attic holds the exit ticket and is the evil girl's domain. My eye saw the ticket hidden away. Find the stain on the floor underneath the dome. Find the key that opens the locked journal. The exit ticket is within those pages. Your survival is not known at this time. The future is hazy. Please try again later. The fortune teller's booth is small and it's a tight fit. The heavy draperies in the booth and surrounding the booth will hopefully hide you well enough from the evil girl. As she enters the room, the air changes. It becomes heavier, and a sense of dread falls over you. Through small cracks in the booth, you watch a dark shadow reflect on the brick wall. She is at the fortune teller's booth. You can hear her rasping, uneven breath and smell her rotten stink.
You take a deep breath and hold it, not letting yourself move. You hope she can't hear your rapid beating heart. It sounds so loud in your own mind. Suddenly she screams her banshee howl, and you know she has left the room. For now. She will be back searching for you. Still hiding in the fortune teller's booth, you read the message. Without the evil ticket, you cannot leave the tunnel of terror. Your only choice is to go back and somehow enter the locked middle door. That door must be the one that leads to the attic, and where the evil girl's wicked spirit dwells, along with the precious exit ticket. Well, guys, what we can do is we can pause it right here, or we can continue on. It's up to you guys. May not necessarily get to the end of this tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm planning on doing a drawing stream, more stuff for Monster Rangers, for Rangertober. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to do some more? I think that this might be a good place to leave it. Oh, you're in? Well, Matriculate, you'll be able to check out the VOD then. All right, so you guys are still in? Okay, well, what we're going to do... That's fine. You can go ahead and hit that lurk chat. You know how it works. All right. Well, what I need to do is I need to go get an additional drink, because this is kind of parching me a little bit. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right.
Good night, Matricula. All right, there we go. We're going to continue on with the story. The exit ticket is hidden in the most wicked place of this realm, the attic. You realize it's the middle door, the door that was locked. You need to find a way to break that lock. It's only a matter of time before the evil girl searches for you again. Standing in front of the door, you begin to lose all hope. All at once, something sweeps you aside. You almost let out a scream, but stop as you realize it's Morpheus. Morpheus grabs the lock, and with several hard twists and turns, he breaks the metal with his brute strength. Before you can say anything to him, he pushes you inside the now open doorway. You begin the steep climb to the attic. Better hurry. If the evil girl catches you there, I shudder to think what will happen to you. Well, apparently the mute button doesn't work when that effect is on. Sorry about that. Excuse me. I taste the dreams. I taste like the dreams of mad children. The attic, the heart of evil dwells in this cursed room. You can feel it as soon as you step into it. And the smell of decay almost overwhelms you. Looking up to the high ceiling, the cold light from the moon dimly filters down into the room from the small domed window above. A haunting message appears on the wall that chills you to the bone. These are the dying words of the evil girl. She perished slowly in this space, cold and alone, filled with rage. As your eyes adjust more to the dark room, the horrible stain becomes visible. It spreads over the wood floor, flies buzzing above it. She died in this spot. This is what is left of the evil child. The passage of time and the sweltering heat of summers and the bitter cold of winter has even turned her bones to dust. You need to find the loose floorboards. Your fate and the fate of the lost souls depends on you. Kneeling on the terrible stain makes you sick to your soul. You know what this stain is, but you fear, and the need to find the exit ticket gives you the courage to forge ahead. Pulling on each stained board, you finally find one that you can pry loose. The old blood and body fluids are still oddly wet. Looking into the shallow hole, you see a shiny key in a book with a lock. Your hands shake so badly you have difficulty opening it. Finally, you hear a click and the clasp falls away. The yellowed papers fall away as well, except for one, the exit ticket. The ticket will let you ride the Tunnel of Terror attraction back to where it began and to the Fright Bites Carnival exit gates. In the distance, you hear a banshee scream. It's the girl. You have the ticket now. Get out of here quickly. Escape! Clutching the exit ticket, you run out of the attic room and make your way down the steep, winding stairs. The evil girl roams all these alternate realms, and until you exit the Tunnel of Terror, you're still in grave danger. As you go through the door once again, the atmosphere begins to change around you. You can feel the heavy evil weighing you down and slowing your movements. You've had nightmares like this, being chased by something that wants to harm you, yet you can only run in slow motion. Don't look now, but the evil girl is behind you, clawed hands reaching for you, her banshee screams piercing like an ice pick to the brain. Evil carnival entities swarm the tunnels chasing you, then it all stops. Time catches up to you and you can run again. Looking back, you see Morpheus holding on to the evil girl. Suddenly it feels like all the air is being sucked out of the tunnels. A vortex has opened that begins to swallow everything around it. You feel it pulling you back. No time to waste, you better keep running. The gate that leads to the ride back to the tunnel entrance is ahead. You take one last look behind you and see Morpheus and the evil girl swallowed up into the swirling darkness and disappear. Not so fast. Feed my gargoyle your exit ticket, then you can ride the Tunnel of Terror. Reaching the exit, you find the spooky webmistress blocking the doorway. She instructs you to place the ticket into the mouth of the gargoyle and tells you to enjoy the ride. In the distance, the sound of the rickety cart slowly clatters on the rails. Can it take any longer to arrive? You begin the long and painfully slow ride out of the tunnels with all the soul orbs safely on your lap, anxious to leave the Tunnel of Terror behind forever. The ride becomes even slower and slower until it grinds to a screeching halt. You're released from the rickety cart and get out. You made it, the first to ever survive the Tunnel of Terror. Congratulations, foolish mortal. Oh, not so fast. Did you really think it would be so easy? More is required of you. The Carnival of Terror is not over yet. A sense of relief comes over you as you walk away from the Tunnel of Terror. How you survived, you'll never understand, but the mutant Morpheus played a big part. Did Morpheus and the evil girl survive? Where did the portal take them? As you walk away, anxious to leave this nightmarish place, the fortune teller's soul orb begins flashing and you see ahead of you the fortune teller's booth. The fortune teller has a message for you. You have done well, mortal, yet one more task is asked of you. Accept or decline, it's up to you. The future of one poor soul remains unresolved. Morpheus's soul orb exists. My third eye can see it hidden in Frightbite House of Mirrors. Will you search for Morpheus's soul orb in the House of Mirrors? Or will you leave this place now and forever? The way out of the Frightbite's Carnival of Terror is close at hand. You can see the exit sign above the gate and Jeeves waving his severed head at the gate. You see another carnival attraction. The sign says it's a house of mirrors. What new horrors await you there? You must choose one. Will you search for Morpheus' soul orb in the House of Mirrors? Or will you leave this place now and forever? Shall we try to save Morpheus? Or should we just exit? The House of Mirrors, all right. Considering all that has happened, this dreadful place at this night, it seems entering a House of Mirrors might be poor judgment on your part. So many mirrors, so much glass to break, 7 years of bad luck times thousands. Too late now. The entry door slams loudly behind you. The fortune teller's message indicates Morpheus' soul orb is here, but the room is just mirrors. You have no choice but to break the mirrors. Oh, so much bad luck. Maybe you'll get lucky and you find it in the first try. Good luck. Every mirror holds a prize. The only way to get out is to find and break this special mirror. You get to punch the spooky webmistress. Who doesn't want to do that? So we have 3 mirrors, 1, 2, and 3. Which will you choose? Three options. Which ones do you guys want? Number 3 it is. You win a nightmare. The girl from the Gap is an evil spirit dwelling in gaps between floors, ceilings, doors, cabinets, anywhere small cracks exist in your house. She can be hiding anywhere, watching you, even now. If one day you meet her gaze, she will ask you to play a game of hide and seek. If you agree to play, the second time you see her eyes in a gap, she will drag you into another dimension, or to hell. That was choice 3. Now choose 1 or 2. You win a nightmare. There is a killer clown that roams the countryside. He goes to all the carnivals and commits murderous acts so horrible it cannot be mentioned. He can blend in with the rest of the clowns until just before he kills his victim. Then he transforms into a hideous beast. It is said if a clown stares at you too long, you will become the next victim. And the last choice, number 2. Congratulations, you found Morpheus's soul orb. Behind the broken mirror, you found Morpheus's soul orb, but maybe there's a chance he can be saved from the portal he and the girl were swallowed up into. Now that you have all the soul orbs, the fortune teller should be able to instruct you on what to do with them next. Exiting from the now open door of the House of Mirrors, you freeze in terror. Off in the distance, you hear a banshee scream. It's only the wind, you tell yourself. Deliver us now to the sparkling stream, set us on our ways to dream eternal dreams. Outside these gates you'll discover our fates, ending forever our terrible wait. Exiting the House of Mirrors, you are surprised to find the fortune teller's booth empty. How it is transported here or who has moved it is a mystery. You hear a clicking noise and a message falls out of the slot. This is the fortune teller's final message. Now you know what to do with the soul orbs. With the message in hand, you quickly pick up the bag of soul orbs, trying to recall any streams you passed when you lost in the woods. Once again you hear the banshee scream, and this time you know it's not the wind. It's the evil girl. She doesn't want you to leave with the orbs. Running to the now open carnival gates, you take a final look, watching in stunned silence as all traces of the carnival begins to dissolve, then disappear before your eyes. In its place, you are standing in the middle of a very ancient graveyard. Again, the banshee screams bring you back to your senses. Running aimlessly has resulted in being lost in the haunted dark woods. Suddenly the soul orbs all begin glowing. It must be a sign. Something flies past your head. Thinking it's bats, you brush it away. It returns, and this time you pay attention long enough to see it's a firefly. The soul orbs flash rapidly, and you know you must follow the firefly. It won't be easy. The firefly is quick. Placing the soul orbs into the water, the stream comes alive with the bright colored lights coming from the orbs. What had imprisoned the souls in the orbs melts in the water, and one by one, fireflies take the remaining light and fly away. As the souls disappear, you hear the banshee scream one last time. The scream shakes the world around you. It's over. Or at least you hope so. The evil girl can no longer terrorize the lost souls. As you turn to leave, something makes you turn around one last time. A solitary bright light lingers over the stream, along with a lone firefly. You wave goodbye, and the light orb floats and fades away. You're convinced it was the spirit of Morpheus. It's unknown what will happen to the evil girl. There was no soul orb for her. You try to reassure yourself that the portal still imprisons her. That's a mystery for someone else to solve. I guess you were spared all the bad luck from breaking the mirrors, because you see your car just a short distance away through the trees and brush of the woods. As you reach the car, you're shocked to find that the massive tree that had blocked you is miraculously gone. With a new sense of urgency, you quickly turn the car around and start putting miles between yourself, the Carnival of Terror, and Salem's Marsh. It doesn't matter where you're headed. All that matters is leaving this haunted place. After quite a long time driving, things are beginning to look familiar, and a terrible unease comes over you. In a panic, you realize you've gone in a circle and are back in dreaded Salem's Marsh and the path to the carnival. Turning the car around, you drive away, once again looking for the road you must have missed. Sometime later, you're back in the dreadful place you started from. Again and again, you leave and end up back in Salem's Marsh. Over and over. Over and over. No way out. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. Edgar Allan Poe. The sound of the alarm clock jars you out of a deep sleep. What a night of bad dreams. Nightmares, really. It seemed so real. So many different characters in strange environments. As you get out of bed, you notice dirty shoe prints on the floor. How did your shoes get so muddy? Your clothes are filthy too. Why can't you remember? Getting ready to start the day, you put on your jacket and notice something in your pocket. It's a crumpled up piece of paper. It's just an old, torn, and faded carnival flyer. Fear washes over you and you toss it onto the trash. It was just a dream, you tell yourself. Just a bad dream. Sleep well, my children. But beware of the places your dreams lead you. Don't look too deeply into the dark, and do not linger there too long, for there may be no return. Sometimes doors should not be opened, and some things should be left alone in the dark, undisturbed. If you wake and see an evil shadow, pull the covers over your head and don't make a sound. She's searching for you. The end. Or is it? All right, guys, we made it through this one too. You know what I'm going to do? I would like you guys, should you get the chance, go to the page, like the page, and tell them that you found out about them from this guy right here. Just let them know that you found out about their site. These have been an absolute delight to do, and I certainly hope you guys have been enjoying them. I think that if I do another one, which I believe I will sometime in the near future, and I think I may do a text adventure from some other sites as well. Thank you very much. I think what I might do is try to read ahead a little bit. I admit that I got some of the voices a little goofed up
in them today. Got them a little back and forth, but that's okay. But that way, because I want to make sure that I'm doing the pretty much just the best kind of experience for you guys if we're doing this. This activity feed thing is not updating. Okay, well. Did want to give you guys just a quick little bit of business talk here. Oh, by the way, Sandy, thank you very much for the applause. Did want to let you know that we actually have a really neat command that you can do. You can go !clap, and it will automatically drop a fun little applause thing in there. But yeah, so right now, it is spelled wrong. It is a kelp. It's a reference to something that happens in Matriculous stream. Did want to give you guys an update. Right now, we are 7 followers away from becoming affiliate. I believe our most recent follow is Magic Girl Allison, who is the fantastic gal who was doing the text adventure the other day, which led me to finding these awesome stories to do. So you have to download Twitch on the kids' iPads and get you 3 more. You may not want them opening that up because not all of them are, not all the streams are kid friendly. And plus, you'd have to sign up with an email and all that jazz, so it'd be way more work. But I do appreciate that. And that's actually one of the tricky things with, there is the desire for getting followers and whatnot. But the thing is, you don't necessarily want fake followers. Because, of course, as I've mentioned, one of the reasons why I am streaming and doing different things and stuff like that on stream is to help supplement my income. And the thing is that with fake follows, that's not going to translate to people actively watching and subscriptions or cheers and donations and all that kind of stuff. So the fake ones, as tempting as it is, unfortunately, that is not the good way to go. Now, I think, we've been doing kind of a scary story, and I know Matricula is, and I do appreciate the idea. I know Matricula is kind of listening if she hasn't fallen asleep just yet. So what I want to do is I want to find one of my favorite ones from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, because these are going to be silly and hopefully transition you to Slumberland, because the last thing you want to have is a story about nightmares in your head as you're trying to go to sleep. Although I probably could do this one just from memory alone. Let's see here. So this was my favorite one, and I will read this. And just this one. I think there was another one. Okay, there's one other one that I'll do. I'll do 2. So I'll do this one first. Or no, I'll do the other one first, and then I'll do my favoriteest one. So we'll go to page 75 here. By the way, you'll notice that there are bookmarks in here. I'm looking for page 70. Wait, what? Oh, they restart the numbers. Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to find it. But anyway, I'll just do the one that I definitely know where it is. One of my kids decided that they really wanted to do a presentation where they actually read from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark at a big school function. And I tell you, I could not have been more proud.
Well, Samuel Alvarez, 65, I appreciate the thought, but I probably won't listen to that song, or at least not play it on the stream. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily kid-friendly, but the album is 12-inch chicken, so not really going with the vibe that we're going here, but I do appreciate the you popping in. So to send you guys off into a positive good night after reading Scary Stories from Scary Stories Treasury. I believe it was from the very first Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and I believe it was re-released in Scary Stories 3 as well. And this is my favorite one. It was called The Hearse Song. Don't you ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet from your head down to your feet. They cover you up in a big black box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. All goes well for about a week. Then your coffin begins to leak. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. The worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose. They eat the jelly between your toes. A big green worm with rolling eyes crawls in your stomach and out your eyes. Your stomach turns a slimy green and pus pours out like whipping cream. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that is what you eat when you are dead. As a kid, I had never heard the word pinnacle pronounced before, and so just the spelling of that word was very, very strange. And so I don't know, I don't remember what I thought the pronunciation of that word was, but it sure as hell wasn't pinochle. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow is going to be more drawing for Rangertober. So we're going to try to knock out a few more of those. I have not been drawing in between streams, even though I probably should have. But saving it for you guys. So I'm going to be doing some more drawing then and whatnot. So, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. And I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. And I'm going to find us somebody, because I keep forgetting the way I should shut these down. Pinocchio. What I want to do is we want to find somebody to raid, somebody that, and you guys know the deal. Always, always, always stick around for a few minutes. See if you dig what they're doing. And once we get over to them, hit just copy this text. The text that I typed, and it'll put that message out there. Well, it looks like he's just gone offline. He's gaming.
With no audio, of course.
I have no idea what he's doing.
Oh man, Philly cheesesteak. That's Patty's new.
Okay, actually, here's the one. So the person that we're going to raid, this guy, he does a really cool thing where he actually has a face rig. So this is just really neat. I'm going to kick you guys. He's playing a game. Just stick around for a couple minutes. Do the exclamation point raid. But want to see what some people are doing on Twitch, and I think it's fantastic. So you'll look at it. It's a face rig that animates it as he does it. It's going to be a little bit different than the animating and stuff that I do, but this is just a really neat thing. So remember, once we go over there, make sure that you do the hashtag, or excuse me, not hashtag, what the text that you have to copy. No, it's not a dumb question. There's a lot of complex stuff, and it took me a while to figure this out too. I want you to drop the command exclamation point raid. That's all you need to do. Okay, so we're going to be doing that here in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and send the command out there. It's going to be letting us, giving us the chance to raid him here in just a moment. So we are going to be doing that. And just remember, all you have to do is exclamation point
Remember, all you have
raid.
is exclamation point raid.
And we're raiding.
I've been playing it for about 35 minutes right now. Muenster! Coming in with that raid and host. What's up, man? Jack